on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and for today I wanted to do another top 10 list for you guys. It seems a lot of you guys have taken a liking to these top 10 videos, and I had a request from one of you guys to do a top 10 unfarmable character list. So in this list right here, we're going to focus mainly on characters that you can get from the bio selectors, whether it's from Shadowland or from the login events. Okay, we are going to be excluding all of the premium, so bio selector characters from this list. So no Carnage, no Agent Venom, no Kid Kaiju, no Spider-Man 2099, that kind of stuff. Okay, we're gonna try and keep this mainly free to play friendly. So we're gonna start from number 10 and work our way all the way up to number 1. So let's go ahead and jump right into this, guys. Number 10 for me is actually a shared spot. There is two characters that I'm gonna have to give this to, mainly because they are so useful, but by themselves they don't really do too much for me personally, because I'm a mainly Shadowland, World Boss, Alliance Battle kind of guy. Okay, and these two characters are not Shadowland friendly, they're not World Boss friendly, and they're not ABX friendly, but they do play a very significant role in this game. And once upon a time they were very good for me, but as I grew as a player, I don't use them that much anymore. However, there is still a place for them in this game. Now 10A for me is actually going to be She-Hulk. As a character, she is not very much. However, she does provide one of the best leaderships in the game, guys. 55% increase to damage dealt. It is a huge leadership, and if you don't have really good cards, really good builds, really good obelisk, you're gonna find that this leadership does a lot for you. And believe me, guys, there was a time when I used this for pretty much everything. As I grew as a player, as I got better characters, as I got better at the game, I don't use it as much as before. However, there is still times that I use it, so there is still a place for it. So number 10A for me is She-Hulk. Very good leadership. At tier 2, she becomes a better character, so you can kind of do stuff with her, but I mainly put her on this list because of her leadership. Okay, 10B for me is actually going to be Destroyer, guys. Can't put him out of this list. PvP counter. As of right now and for the longest time, guys, energy attacking characters dominate this game. However, freaking Destroyer is the counter for them all. For the Jean Greys, the Cables, the Odins, the Thanoses, the Dormammus, you name it. Okay, with the exception of characters like Wolverine and Quicksilver, there is not that many standout physical attacking characters. So if you're new to the game and you don't have really powerful characters built up to counter the meta, Destroyer is a definite for your roster. He's gonna be a big part of your timeline teams in terms of making sure that you get a decent amount of crystals every single week. And if you can manage to tier 2 him, he becomes significantly better. There are stages in Shadowland where he can do decent, but he's mainly on this list for me because of his role in the PvP aspects of this game. I'm not a big PvP guy, but he has to be on this list for me. Okay, this is my personal list and he just could not be excluded. He's got me through a lot of stuff, guys, when it comes to timeline, especially since I try to be as free to play as possible. So crystals in timeline, that's a big win. Okay, next character on this list right here is someone that I should have tier 2'd a long time ago, and eventually I'll get around to tier 2'ing her, but even at tier 1 she's a beast. If I can find her right now, where are you, baby? And she's probably at the top of my list right here. Where are you, baby? There we go. Silk, guys. Number 9 spot has to be Silk. She has amazing CC on her 1 and her 5. Great freaking damage on her 4 skill with this uniform. Uniform not required, but it is highly recommended. The uniform bonus is amazing. It's kind of the main reason why she's on this list, guys, because it makes it so that she has 10 seconds of webbing time, guys. Crazy stuff. And none of her skills, her web skills that is, are on really long cooldown. This one is 12 seconds, you can get that down to 6 seconds, and this one is on 10 seconds, you can get that down to 5 seconds. So with this uniform, you can essentially just keep the enemy webbed up for the entirety of the fight. PvP, she's amazing, guys. Kind of the reason why she's on this list, but she can do very, very well in Shadowland and World Boss as well. At tier 1, she can do normal AB, but even at tier 2, she cannot do ABX. That is a real bummer for me. She doesn't have the kind of crowd control and AoE type damage. She's more of a single target suppression type character, but what she does very, very well. One of the best spiders in this game, okay? And to be honest, the only spider that's going to be on this list, because we're keeping the farmable characters off of it, okay? So definitely got to give number 9 spot to my girl Silk, one of my favorite characters in this game. And number 8 has actually fallen quite a bit, guys. Once upon a time, he was one of the best characters in this game, but as more characters come out, his spot is now number 8 for me, guys, and that is Moon Knight. Tier 2 required, and if you can, get the uniform, which is kind of why he's so low on this list. The uniform gives him an additional iframe, and his tier 2 gives him amazing healing, which makes him a amazing character for PvP encounter. And once you get him to tier 2, he's gonna have that additional bit of damage, and he'll be able to tackle stuff like extreme AB and world bosses. He can do world boss at tier 1, you kind of have to kite a little bit. He can do Shadowland as well, kind of have to kite a little bit there, especially if you don't have the uniform. So that's kind of why I put him so low on this list, especially since his only real AoE type skill is his 5 skill, and it's on a sizable cooldown time. Okay, so number 8 for me, Moon Knight, guys. Number 7 is actually a character that we just got, and at tier 1 he's way worse than Moon Knight. However, at tier 2, I'd like to think he's gonna become significantly better, simply because invincibility trumps healing, for me at least, and that is Scourge. Right now, like I said in plenty of my Scourge videos, at tier 1 his survivability is terrible, but at tier 2 this guy has the guard. He already has it at tier 1, but he's gonna have invincibility on top of that. So if you play him with some kind of common sense, you're gonna have a ton of survivability, and his damage is superior to that of Moon Knight at tier 1 at the very least, and it gets an increase at tier 2. So definitely giving this guy the 7th spot. I'm probably gonna tier 2 him soon, so hopefully I'll be able to show you guys just why I put him at 7. Okay, number 6 for me, guys, universal character, one of my personal favorite. See if I can find her at the bottom here. One of the best characters in the universal class, and that is Medusa. Medusa, guys. World Boss, she can do it. Shadowland, she can do it. And she also has a great self-buffing leadership. Kind of one of the reasons why I like her. I like characters that can buff their own damage. That is great. 36%, that is very, very good. And on top of that, she has damage block that's available to you at tier 1. One of the best characters for new players. So if you're new to the game, she should be one of the first ones you pick up. Most characters have to get tier 2 to get this kind of treatment. On top of that, she has iframes. Very, very good character. On top of that, she has good CC in 2 stuns. 2 stuns, 2 iframes, damage block, lots of survivability, decent damage. If you want to make her a better character, tier 2 her, she gets a little bit more survivability and a little bit of damage. But I'm not going to tier 2 her until she gets a uniform, because I want a little bit more out of her. Definitely a really cool character though, so if you like her, it is not a wasted investment, even though the tier 2 doesn't do too much for her. Okay, definitely would say she's better than her husband, significantly better than her husband at tier 1. At tier 2, I would say Black Bolt trumps her, but not by too much, maybe just in ABX. Okay, so that's number 6 for you guys. Number 5 actually is another really good character. It's a blast character this time. Where, oh, she's on my thumb, and that's Mantis, guys. Mantis, I know you guys probably heard this, but Mantis is a great character. No proof, so freaking easy to use. You don't need to really do anything when you play her. Amazing survivability in this freaking heal right here. And on top of that, she has this nasty fear on the 5 skill that makes it so that the enemies just run away from you constantly. If that wasn't bad enough, she has iframes and really good damage on the 4. So iframes, CC, and heal. Mantis is amazing, so you can use her in PvP. PvE doesn't really matter. The only time she's gonna struggle is if you put her in ABX. She doesn't have the kind of damage for that, so that's kind of why she's so low on this list. Same goes for Medusa. Medusa and I would say Mantis are in the same spot where they have good survivability, but they don't have the potential to do well in ABX no matter how well you build them, okay? As of right now, that is. So they're mainly world boss, Shadowland type characters, so keep that in mind. Mantis will do significantly better than Medusa in PvP though, so that's why she's so far up this list. Number 4 for me, guys, is a character that requires his uniform, okay? Keep that in mind. He's decent without his uniform, but uniform is most definitely recommended, guys. And that is the first Hulk on this list. Yeah, the red guy. Definitely, for the longest time, I screamed my lungs out saying he was the best Hulk in the game. And to be honest, he's still one of the best. Uniform is required though, okay? He's better than the green guy without his uniform, but with the uniform equipped, he's significantly better than himself, okay? So one thing you need to know about this is that Red Hulk without his uniform is a villain. With this, it makes him a hero. However, this uniform, he can compete in Combat Superhero Day and break over 100k in ABX, so keep that in mind. Great Shadowland character, great world boss character. He has 2 heals, he has damage block, and he has a self-buffing leadership right here that makes him immune to burn effects, okay? So that's great. Love to see characters that their leadership actually makes sense. Immunity to burn, and he gives of himself a fire buffing leadership. Great character, he has good damage. Next character on this list right here is number 3, guys. A character that a lot of people kind of underestimate and only ever use her for her leadership, and that is Titania, guys. Number 3, believe it or not, she's number 3 for me. One of the best leaderships in the game, and you guys can see for yourself. She's kind of comparable to She-Hulk just because of the imposing figure and the fact that she has a great leadership. However, she got everything else that She-Hulk didn't get. She has damage immunity on her 3rd skill. On top of that, she's a self-buff on her 4th skill. Long iframe on the 5 right here, and it does really good damage. On top of that, she got what She-Hulk should have gotten at tier 2, and she got some healing in there, guys. Yeah. The only thing she really needs is just a little bit more damage. If she gets a little bit more damage, she would be great for ABX by herself. However, you're going to be using her in ABX anyways to buff Carnage or Sandman or maybe even Scourge. Okay, so yeah, definitely a character that you want to build. And if you're new to the game, one of the very first characters you should be building. Okay, so keep that in mind. If you have those bio selectors from being a new player or those rank up tickets, she should be a high priority on your list. Number 2, guys, number 2 for me is gonna be the best character, rather one of the best characters in the universal class. Gotta keep this list diverse. Diversity is key because you don't want to build 10 combat characters, but even still, he would still be number 2 even if we were keeping this like strictly whatever. Anyways, Robby Reyes, guys, the best Ghost Rider in the game. Yeah, believe it or not, the best Ghost Rider in the game. Great world boss character, great character for ABX. Yeah, Shadowland, he's great as well. You might want to consider tier 2ing him if you don't have really good cards and stuff. Just because at tier 1 his damage is not out of this world, but what he does have is great survivability, multiple long iframes, and a freaking guard. On top of that, he has a decent leadership. Ignore dodge is definitely good for some stages in Shadowland, but the main reason why he's this high up on the list for me is because he's able to do well in ABX. Always give priority to characters that can get over 100k. It doesn't really matter how much farther they can get, but as long as they can break 100k comfortably, for me that's good because that gives you the additional gold and the 6-star ISO, because that's going to go a long way in terms of developing your roster. Number 1 for me, guys, believe it or not, is a character that I never thought would ever be number 1 at anything, and a lot of you guys may debate this, but is a character that I've been giving a lot of love to on the channel. So if you don't believe me, check out my videos on him and you'll see for your damn self why I put this guy at number 1. Okay, he's all the way at the top of the list. I've been having so much fun with this guy. Number 1 for me, guys, is actually gonna be the green guy. Yeah, believe it or not, guys, 2 Hulks in a top 10 list. Never thought I would see the day, but the day is here. Uniform is absolutely, positively required, because without it, he is absolute garbage. Would not even be top 30. So keep that in mind. With this uniform equipped, he can crush World Boss. He can do work in World Boss Ultimate. Yeah, ABX, he can crush it. Shadowland, he can crush it. And PvP, he can do very, very well. So definitely a great character that you should prioritize if you have the crystals to buy the uniform. Otherwise, don't build them, okay? Damage blocking the kit, which is great. One of the best things about his kit, a 5 skill right here. Love the animation for the skill, but it gives him the immunity, so that's kind of the main reason why I like him. On top of that, he has really good damage with this uniform, and he has multiple iframes. Never thought I'd see iframes on the Hulk, man. So this guy, number 1, guys, holding down the number 1 spot for the unfarmable characters in the game. But that's it for this list, guys. Let me know what you think of the list. I was trying to keep this one short. So yeah, boys, top 10 unfarmable character list. Let me know what you guys would like to see next. And yeah, that's it for this one. Like always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace and love. And I'm out.